For some time now, those wanting to get into the car wash business or looking to expand an existing business built new construction. Site conversions, an often overlooked opportunity, are gaining ground as a viable option for the car wash industry. Easier permitting, quicker entry into business, and lower startup costs all contribute to making site conversions a real opportunity. Tim Ryan of Typhoon Car Wash gave us a look at what he's done at his location in Phoenix and why site conversions are more practical than you might have thought. Stay tuned. The International Carwash Association is taking you to the cleaning edge.
Hi, my name is Jim Bellinger. I'm with the International Carwash Association. Today we're in Phoenix, Arizona with Tim Ryan at Typhoon Car Wash. We're going to talk a little bit about conversion of a self-serve facility into an express exterior. Tim, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you came across this location and what kind of triggered you to think you'd, turn it into an express?
Yeah, a couple things excited me about this. The first thing was site selection, Traffic count was up there. I had visibility from the light, so I was able to take a little bit of the traffic count from there. I'm right across from a Fry's food store, so I get a lot of visibility from that, and there's a lot of people there throughout the day. So the site was good as far as the visibility. The site was large, just over an acre, so I knew I was going to be able to do some things with it. And at the time, it was strictly a self-serve, and with a conveyor. But he had no pay stations, no express, the wrong price point. So I knew with some business changes, I could turn things around.
Okay. Now, when you came in, you ran for a little while to get a handle on the business,
yeah.
Right? And
yes.
then, how long did it take you before you actually decided to go express rather than just exterior conveyor with a self-serve?
Well, the first thing I did was I moved my pricing point. That didn't take any money. I went down to a $3. My biggest thing that they were suffering from at the time was volume. So I went free vacuums and did the $3 price point. At that point, I re-equipped the site to increase my throughput. And then I just found myself that I was stalled. I can only go so fast. And the volume was far outweighing what I can do with manpower. So at that time, I decided the next stage was to add my auto sentries. And that's when I converted these self-serve bays to auto sentry bays. And that boosted me twice the volume right there.
This is a really cool setup. Can we go in here and take a closer look?
You bet.
So Tim, we're now standing inside your pay area where your pay stations are. And this is a converted, used to be 2 bays of self-serve.
Correct.
How many self-serve bays were here before you made the conversion?
Originally there was 8 self-serve bays. So I knew that looking at the national average, through the car wash magazines, I was a little under, and typically I'm finding most of the self-serves I see are 4, 5, 6 bays. So being that I had 8, I knew I can give up 2 or 3. And I wasn't too concerned because I knew the majority of my revenue was going to come from my conveyor. I was hoping that the revenue I did lose would transfer to my self-serve bays in the back, and pretty much that's what they've done. So I wasn't too concerned with that. So I put up some doors and, kind of dressed it up a little bit and threw my pay stations in here.
So I'm looking at that. It looks like you put in some plastic paneling.
Yeah.
And then you had to come in with some curb work, right?
Yep, I did a little bit of curb work. I kept the pre-existing concrete on the ground, tightened the lanes to get about 8'6", 9 feet, just to allow them to get closer to the pay station, and kind of just dressed it up. Didn't really spend a lot of money on it, but just dressed it up. I wanted to make this the focal point.
Okay, now there's some security doors on both sides. What's going on with that?
We're still inner city, so we have some damages, we have some theft, and we've day and night with cleaning the site up. But with the amount of money we have in the pay stations and whatnot, I found it, I had the openings, so I threw up some doors to to create some
Just
security.
close her
at
down
night.
at night and you
You
got
know,
it.
my self-server bays are still open 24 hours. You know, so I still got people in here quite often, so I wanted to be able to lock this up and allow people to use those and not have access to this. One of the things that I was trying to accomplish with this is, originally I didn't have a lot of stacking.
Okay.
And that being said, I wanted to make sure that I tried to increase that. So going from a single lane I originally had to 2 pay stations, I literally had 2 lanes. So I achieved that result, but I still don't have a huge distance from my pay stations to the street. So I wanted to create a large queue, which is pretty much like stacking in a way. You know, I can end up putting 17, 18 cars in this queue area, allowing there not to be a lot of stacking up there in the front. So when people don't see a large line, they have a tendency to jump in. You know, when they start seeing long lines, they start seeing people turning away.
Well, this is really an S curve.
Yes.
And so this is where you get your 18 car queue inside this S curve. How is this to drive from a customer? Is it easy flow?
You know, the first thing I did, I'm not gonna lie, is I took a spray can, I took the worst turn-in radius vehicle I can find, and the radiuses were the hardest. And I wanted to make sure that there was no 3-point turning, and that's how I did it. You know, I followed the tire and gave myself about 5-foot room, and I just followed it all the way around, and it's worked out well. Wasn't quite for sure if that was going to work out, but
Right.
it's worked out well.
Well, it's really an interesting turn in. It actually makes the site an interesting site the way you've got it done.
It's you know, I can do a pretty big volume. You know, I've had some 1,000-car days, and it flows smooth. You know, you don't really notice it, being that a majority of your stacking is in the queue. You know, I found that these pay stations are, you know, they can do, you know, 60, 70, 80 cars an hour per pay station, you know, at times. So they definitely keep up.
So now, as you've worked your way into this, where you came into the facility, you made some modifications just in the way you went about things, pricing, and
Yeah.
you know, your management style versus the former owners. Then you upgraded with these pay points, put in a little bit of equipment package. Now that your volume's increasing, what's your next step to finish kind of the conversion?
You know, the next step is, you know, right now you're only as quick as your weakest link, and you know, I'm probably at the stage where I need to add some more equipment. You'll notice in the back of my property I got about 30 feet that I can add on conveyor link. So my next stage is to increase that, so I can basically my throughput for my tunnel can keep up with the throughput for my pay stations.
So as guys are looking to grow their chains and pick up new locations, and it seems like everybody's always looking to do something new.
Yeah.
And you're going the other direction.
You know, it's it was one of those things where I didn't want to, you know, not to put a time on it, but you take a new build, maybe about a year into it from when you actually started. I was in it right away. You know, after the title work, I signed the papers, and I was open to business.
This is a real creative conversion. We really appreciate you having us,
Appreciate it.
showing
Appreciate
us
you
to us.
coming out here.
Thanks much. Tim.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. Signing off from Phoenix.